So mindfulness is a way of being aware, of being present in the moment, but in a particular way, in a non-judgmental way, with kindness and curiosity. So it's a particular way of being present in the moment. And it's particularly vital, actually, for education, in that it helps to equip our pupils with skills and with techniques and an approach to life that can help them to flourish in whatever they decide to do, whether this might be academic achievements or on the sports field or in their artwork or in whatever area they have talents and skills. The mindfulness approach can help them to develop them and to become the very best that they can be. With the children that I taught mindfulness to, I noticed lots of very subtle changes in the pupils. Their ability to be calm in certain situations, their ability to self-regulate in situations that otherwise they would find really challenging, and the ability that they had to be able to cope with some of the emotional challenges that go on in school were really enhanced by their use of mindfulness. Also, their ability to concentrate in class, their ability to know and notice their attention and where their attention was going and be able to have some element of choice in where they put their attention was a really massive skill for them to learn and to appreciate. So it was in all aspects of education. I feel that it's really, really vital that we equip our young people with these skills and abilities and this whole approach. I think it's really important for the mindfulness programme to be offered to all classes in the school, not just a specific. I know in the past a lot of schools may have used this to target certain groups of children and use the mindfulness techniques to help those pupils, and it will do that. But it's very important that all school children get the access to this, so that it's done in a non-stigmatised way, so that children who are maybe anxious and children who are confident are together in their class sharing experiences so that they can learn from each other. It's really important that the universality of this programme goes out to everybody in the school, in all year groups, regardless of any conditions that the children may have or perceived difficulties that they may be experiencing. It's just really important that it gets done to everybody. In the adult courses, the courses are very much experiential in that the courses are longer practices and with time for reflection and inquiry into aspects of the practices that the participants are dealing with at that particular moment. With the children, there is a real focus and an emphasis on education for them, so that they will learn about attention, they will learn about their bodies and how their bodies react to certain stresses and different situations that they find themselves in. So they really get to know a lot more about the physiological aspects of their bodies and their ability to notice these and what goes on for them in particular. So the focus in the children's curriculum that I've been familiar with, is on educating the children so that they are aware of these processes that are going on and they can name them, and they learn about the brain and they learn about their bodies and their reaction to different things. So although there are practices in the children's programmes, but they are only quite short, they just give the children, for me, just a little taster of what mindfulness practices, the longer practices, can do, and maybe for the pupils give them a choice in the future as to where they would like to go if they experience maybe some mental ill health, and they're given choices that they look to this technique to maybe help them in the future. So it's plopping in seeds of little of the education, of the practices, the short practices, so that the children and the young people get a real sense of what it's all about. Because there are many misconceptions out there, and it's difficult sometimes for the children to appreciate how this can really relate to them. So the mindfulness courses for children really do help to do that. So the practices that we used was a practice called Fofbok, which was feet on floor, bum on chair. And basically it was a way of directing the pupils' attention into their different parts of their body. And they used to quite enjoy that. And it was a seated practice, so they get a real sense of themselves in their chair, and then noticing the different sensations in the bodies. The other one that they used to do was the dot B, which was stop and breathe, which was in the adult world, it was like the 3-step breathing space, basically, where they take just a few moments to settle themselves and to notice what's going on for them at the moment, and then focus in on the breath, and then open out to the rest of the body as well. So that was called the dot B practice. And other practices that the children used to do, there were activities and different practices where the children would focus in on the breath, so they would do some breath counting, noticing the counts. And the other practice that the children have really enjoyed is called the meditation, and this is an opportunity for the pupils to lie down and to do in the adult context the body scan, so that they're basically going through different parts of their bodies in quite a short way. It's not as long as say a 40-minute body scan, but it's a quite short 10-minute body scan where they do get the experience of lying down and noticing their body sensations in that different position. And I used to get a few snores in the class at times when we used to do that one. So they did used to quite enjoy that, and they call that the meditation. Very often pupils that I worked with had difficulty sleeping, and this was a really lovely way of helping them with a technique that could perhaps help them in the evenings and at nights, in the middle of the night when some of them really had trouble sleeping. They used to come back into school and say that they'd use the meditation, which was always lovely to hear.